the little old lady who wasn't afraid of anything. Was done. And this one I just got. And I got this specifically to read for Halloween. The Witch's Cat and the Cooking Catastrophe. Ooh. Ooh, spooky. Gotta put your 3D glasses on. Okay, that's enough. Yep. Oh, there's Corley. Yep. There she is. Let me move over a little bit so that you can see her, not me. Oh, and look who else is there in the picture. There's the little biting one. Okay, we are just about at 7:30. And we got a lot of books to go through. Hopefully we can get them all done. First one we are going to read is Spooky Pooky. It's Halloween, little Pooky. Tonight, when it's dark, we will walk down our street. We will visit our friends. You could say, trick or treat. But first, little Pook, you must choose what to be. Let's look in the box and see what we see. Will you be a dragon? It's itchy. Will you be a bear? It's hot. Or maybe a Pookie who flies through the air. It's too tight. A clown could be funny. A pumpkin is cute. You would make a fine bunny in the white bunny suit. I see something yellow peeking out from the box. Oh, look, a banana who wears stripy socks. I feel silly. There's one more to try. It's a little white ghost. Will this be the costume that you like the most? I'll try it. Boo! Eek! It's a ghost! Nope, it's a spooky pookie. Trick or treat! Yep. So that's the appetizer. Now we're going to get into 10 timid ghosts. 10. Ten timid ghosts in a haunted house. A witch moved in and wanted them out. One saw a skeleton and let out a whine. He flew into the woods, and then there was 9. I don't think it made a sound. Unless it was the chair. 9 timid ghosts into a haunted house. A witch moved in and wanted them out. One saw a bat and didn't wait. She flew into the woods, and now there were 8. This is a scary, scary book. 8 timid ghosts in a haunted house. A witch moved in and wanted them out. One saw a ghoul and screamed, "Oh, my heaven!" He flew into the woods. And then there were 7. 7 timid ghosts in a haunted house. A witch moved in and wanted them out. One saw a cat. What a terrible fix. She flew into the woods, and then there were 6. 6 timid ghosts in a haunted house. A witch moved in and wanted them out. One saw an owl and took a dive. He flew into the woods, and then there were 5. Five timid ghosts in a haunted house. A witch moved in and wanted them out. One saw a vampire and dashed to the door. She flew into the woods, and then there were 4. 4 timid ghosts in a haunted house. A witch moved in and wanted them out. One saw a monster and was scared as can be. He flew into the woods. And here comes the Genesis LP. And then there were 3. All right, that was a bad joke, but you know. 3 timid ghosts in a haunted house. A witch moved in and wanted them out. One saw a spider, and what did she do? She flew into the woods. And then there were 2. 2 timid ghosts in a haunted house. A witch moved in and wanted them out. One saw a rat and started to run. He flew into the woods. And then there was 1. 1 clever ghost in a haunted house. Thank you, Tina. A witch moved in and wanted her out. She saw the witch coming undone. She flew into the woods. And then there were none. 10 angry ghosts in the deep, dark wood. That witch is too tricky and just no good. This isn't fair. We live in there. Let's band together and give her a scare. 1 mean old witch in a haunted house. 10 brave ghosts wanted her out. Boo! The witch saw the ghosts and howled with fear. She tore out the door, screaming, "Get me out of here!" And that is the end of the book. The witch is gone, and the 10 timid ghosts are dancing around. Yes, it's a very good book. All right, so we will get to the Room on the Broom next, but we are going to read a new book called The Witch's Cat and the Cooking Catastrophe. One day, a witch's cat found a dusty old cookbook, and it gave him the most marvelous idea. "I know," said the cat excitedly. "I will make a super scrumptious surprise lunch for my lovely witch. How hard can it possibly be?" And as he eagerly flipped through the pages, he found the perfect recipe called witch's broth. It has 5 fish heads, 4 splodges of frog spawn, 3 dried lily blossoms, 2 drops of dragonfly tears, 1 pinch of magic witching dust. Directions: throw it all in, stir, and leave for 1 minute. "Excellent," said the cat. She's a witch, and I'm sure she'll like broth, whatever that is. Then he roughly followed the directions, adding an extra sprinkling of magic witching dust for good measure. Ha! I'm rather excellent at this cooking thing, he was boasting to himself when, poof! It was ready. The mixture was green and gurgling. The cat took a big sniff. Delicious. But it needs just a little something else. And he knew just the thing. Seasoning. So he added some herbs and spices before finishing it. Off to perfection with a good shake of salt and pepper. There, much better, he said, feeling very pleased with himself. Just then, the lovely witch arrived home. "Oh, Cat, you made lunch. What a wonderful surprise," she said happily. Keep in mind, this is also called the Witch's Cat and the Cooking Catastrophe. So we know something bad is going to happen. "Well, this is interesting," said the witch as she took a closer peek at the mixture, which was now making a funny fizzing sound. "What's in it?" "No, wait, don't tell me. Let me taste it and guess." And with that, she took a big spoonful. She swirled it around her mouth. Then she swallowed it with a gulp and zap! In a flash of light, she turned into a frog. "Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit," said the frog. "Oh no!" shrieked the cat. "That wasn't supposed to happen." And that's when he noticed an important scribble at the bottom of the page. "Warning! Adding seasoning to a magic potion will make it stronger, so use sparingly. Or ideally, not at all." "A potion? Oh no! This isn't a cookbook," he realized with horror. "It's a spell book!" "What have I done? This is not good at all. It's a cooking catastrophe, and I need to fix it now." So he searched and searched through the pages of the old spell book before deciding on a potion called Undo Soup. 5 cat hairs, 4 meaty bones, 3 sunny morning dewdrops, 2 stinky old slippers, 1 pinch of magic witching dust. Directions: throw it all in, stir, and leave for 2 minutes. Yeah, pretty much, Kyle. "Hopefully this will undo this terrible mess," he said. Then he set to work on making the new potion. And this time he was sure to follow the recipe to the very letter. Well, almost. He could only find 1 stinky old slipper, so he threw in some extra cat hairs instead. "Ha! This seems easy enough," he was just thinking, when suddenly poof! It was ready. The mixture was blue and bubbling. This time he resisted adding seasoning before serving up some for the frog. And zap! The frog changed into a dog. "Woof! Woof!" said the dog. Oh no, not again, said the cat. I really need to put this right. So he hurried back to the book to find the answer. Ah, this looks ideal, he said, reading aloud a recipe for make a witch stew. 5 glittery fish scales, 4 spindly spider legs, 3 tablespoons of frog spit. That's a lot of frog spit. Yeah. Anyway, 2 sun-ripened pumpkins, 1 pitch of magic witching dust. Directions: throw it all in, stir, and leave for 3 minutes. Ha! Hopefully this will make a witch this time, said the cat, as he followed the instructions super carefully. Well, kind of. There was no frog spit, so he used a smidge of dog drool instead. The cat waited patiently for a moment, then poof! It was ready. The mixture was oddly orange. Once again, he avoided seasoning before serving some up for the dog. And zap! The dog magically transformed into a very unhappy witch. Ribbit, ribbit, woof, woof, said the witch crossly. Oh dear, said the cat. I guess it did need the frog spit after all. I wonder if you could get frog spit off Amazon. What do you think? Do you think do you think they'll ship it for free if you have Amazon Prime? Thankfully, the potions eventually wore off, and the lovely witch returned to her normal self. But the cat was never allowed to make lunch ever again. Ha! She didn't mention magic, though, he said quietly, as he picked another interesting book and started planning his next magical adventure. The end. Yeah, maybe Walmart. Yeah. I wonder what section it would be under. So that is The Witch's Cat and the Cooking Catastrophe. The next thing we are going to read is a classic. I remember reading this to my niece when she was about 2 years old. It is called Room on the Broom. This is written by the creators of the Gruffalo. The witch had a cat and a hat that was black, and long ginger hair and a braid down her back. How the cat purred and how the witch grinned as they sat on their broomstick and flew through the wind. But how the witch wailed and how the cat spat when the wind blew so wildly it blew off her hat. Oh yeah, this is classic. Down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the hat, but no hat could be found. Then out of the bushes, on thundering paws, there bounded a dog with a hat in his jaws. He dropped it politely, then eagerly said, as the witch pulled the hat firmly down on her head, I am a dog as keen as can be. Is there room on the broom for a dog like me? Yes, cried the witch, and the dog clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick and whoosh! They were gone. Over the fields and the forest they flew. The dog wagged his tail when the stormy wind blew. The witch laughed out loud and held on to her hat, but away blew the bow from her braid. Just like that. This was my wife's book. My wife was a teacher. A lot of these books that I read here were from my wife's collection. Down cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. Hello, Derecho. They searched for the bow, but no bow could be found. Then out from a tree with an ear-splitting shriek, there flapped a green bird with a bow in her beak. She dropped it politely and bent her head low, then said, as the witch tied her braid in a bow, I am a bird as green as can be. Is there room on the broom for a bird like me? Yes, cried the witch, so the bird fluttered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Yeah, this is a classic book, and like I said, I got pictures of me somewhere reading this to my niece. She loved this book. Over the reeds and the rivers they flew. The bird shrieked with glee, and the stormy wind blew. They shot through the sky to the back of beyond. The witch clutched her bow, but let go of her wand. Down, cried the witch, as they flew to the ground. They search for the wand, but no wand can be found. Then all of a sudden, from out of the pond, leaped a dripping wet frog with a dripping wet wand. He dropped it politely, then said with a croak, as the witch dried the wand on a fold of her cloak, I am a frog as clean as can be. Is there a room on the broom for a frog like me, Ribbit? Yes, said the witch, so the frog bounded on. The witch tapped the broomstick and whoosh, they were gone. Over the moons and the mountains they flew. The frog jumped for joy, and the broom snapped in two. Down fell the cat and the dog and the frog. Down they went tumbling into a bog. The witch's half broomstick flew into a cloud, and the witch heard a roar that was scary and loud. Look at the little kitty. I am a dragon as mean as can be, and witch with French fries sounds delicious to me. No, cried the witch, flying higher and higher. The dragon flew after her, breathing out fire. Help, cried the witch, flying down to the ground. She looked all around, but no help could be found. The dragon drew near with a glint in his eyes, and he said, just this once, I'll have a witch without fries. Yes, it was a very heavy frog. Probably was a bullfrog. You know how big those bullfrogs get. But just as he planned to begin on his feast, from out of a ditch rose a horrible beast. It was tall, dark, and sticky, and feathered, and furred. It had 4 frightful heads, and had wings like a bird. And its terrible voice, when it started to speak, was a yell, and a growl, and a croak, and a shriek. It dripped and it squelched as it strode from the ditch, and it said to the dragon, "Buzz off! That's my witch!" The dragon drew back and started to shake. I'm sorry," he spluttered. "I made a mistake. It's nice to have met you, but now I must fly." And he spread out his wings and was off through the sky. Down flew the bird, and down jumped the frog. Down climbed the cat. It said, "Phew," said the dog. "And thank you, oh thank you," the grateful witch cried. "Without you I'd be in that dragon's inside." Then she filled up her cauldron, and she said with a grin, "Find something, everyone. Throw something in." So the frog found a lily, the cat found a cone, the bird found a twig, and the dog found a bone. They threw them all in, and the witch stirred them well. And while she was stirring, she muttered a spell. "Iggity, ziggity, zaggity, zoom." Then out rose a truly magnificent broom, with seats for the witch and the cat and the dog, a nest for the bird, and a pool for the frog. "Yes," cried the witch, and they all clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. And that is the end of The Room on the Broom. And there is a little popcorn girl who is very, very busy. How heavy was that frog is a good question. I don't know. But he might have to lose some weight, Kyle, because he could croak. Next book, The Little Old Lady. You know what? Let's do this next. We will be back. Let's skip around a little bit. Let's read Bat Loves the Night. All right. So, I remember we read this before, and I think this was my wife's book. And this is a wonderful, wonderful book. I do have to tell you, they do have the best last names. Do you see the last names on here? I'm not related to them, just to let you know. Yeah, I love bats too, and I have a bat house that I've never put up. It's sitting in the garage. Bat is waking, upside down as usual, hanging by her toenails. Her beady eyes open, her pixie ears twitch. She shakes her thistle-down fur. She unfurls her wings made of skin so fine, the finger bones inside show through. And it says, a bat's wing is its arm and hand. 4 extra long fingers support the skin of the wing. It says, the pipistrelle's bat's body is no bigger than your thumb. Now she unhooks her toes and drops into black space. With a sound like a tiny umbrella opening, she flaps her wings. Bat is flying. And then there's a little thing here. It says, bat's toes are shaped like hooks. So it's no effort for a bat to hang upside down. Out from under the broken tile into the nighttime garden. You can see the little bat here. Right there, Rachel. Over bushes, under trees, between fence posts, through the tangled hedge she swoops untouched. Bat is at home in the darkness, as a fish is in the water. She doesn't need to see, she can hear where she is going. And then the little thing says, bats can see, but in the dark, good ears are more useful than eyes. Oh yeah, Auntie Anita? Yeah, I like them, but as long as they're outside. Bat shouts as she flies, louder than a hammer blow, higher than a squeak. She beams her voice around her like a flashlight, and the echoes come singing back. They carry a sound picture of all her voices touched. Listening hard, Bat can hear every detail, the smallest of twigs, the shape of leaves. Gliding and fluttering back and forth, she shouts her touch of sound among the trees, listening for her supper. All is still. And then it says, using sound to find your way, this is called echolocation. The noise bats make when they shout is too high for humans to hear. Then a fat moth takes flight below her. Bat plunges, fast and blinking, and grabs it in her open mouth. But the moth's pearly scales are moon dust slippery. It slithers from between her teeth. Bat dives, nets it with a wingtip, scoops it in her mouth. This time she bites hard. Its wings fall away like the wrapper from a candy. In a moment the moth is eaten. Bat sneezes. The dusty scales got up her nose. And then there's a couple other points here. A bat can eat dozens of big moths in a single night, or thousands of tiny flies, gnats, and mosquitoes. That's funny. A bat in the church, huh? As long as it wasn't in the belfry. Most species of bats eat insects, but there are some that eat fruit, fish, frogs, and even blood. It's vampire bats. Hunting time has run out. The dark will soon be gone. In the east, the sky is getting light. It is past Bat's bedtime. Yes, true, Auntie Anita. She flies to the roof in the last shadows and swoops in under the broken tile. The place where bats sleep in the day is called a roost. It can be in a building, a cave, a tree, and I'm going to add here, a church, so long that it's dry and safe. Inside there are squeaklings. 50 hungry batlings hang in a huddle, hooked to a rafter by oversized feet. Bat lands and pushes in among them, toes first, upside down again. Baby bats can't fly. Sometimes mother bats carry their babies when they go out, but mostly the babies stay behind in the roost and crowd together to keep warm. Look at all those cute little baby bats. Bat knows her baby's voice and calls to it. The velvet scrap batling climbs aboard and clings to Bat's fur by its coat hanger feet. Wrapped in her leather wings, the baby suckles Bat's milk. And it says, baby bats drink mother's milk until they learn to fly at a few weeks old. Then they leave the roost at night to find their own food. Many, many years ago, we went to a place that had a bat exhibition, and they had a guy who was like the big authority on bats coming in. He was showing all these types of bats. It was wonderful. I learned so much from that day. You know, he had the vampire bats, and he had those huge flying foxes. They were just fascinating. I actually bought that bat house at that exhibition. Outside outside the birds are singing. The flowers turn their faces to the sun. But inside the roof hole, the darkness stayed. Bat dozes with her batling, waiting. Bats are nocturnal. That means they rest by day and come out at night to search for food. You know, if you do have some inside, you get some bat food. You get that Purina bat shell. When the tide of night rises again, Bat will wake and plunge into the blackness, shouting. Bat loves the night. You know, that's a good idea, London Girl, because I would like that. I would love to hear them.
Heard bats?
A bat detector, yes.
I've had bats in my eaves, and I could hear the babies in the eaves.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So I left them. I didn't complain. They were in my condo complex.
Yeah.
And then, but there's a window right below where they left their guano as they would move in and out. And so when the guy had a baby, I finally confessed and said, you need to remove it.
Yeah.
You guys are leaving your windows open all the time, and there's guano in there.
The bat detector is under attack.
Retweeting in there.
Yeah, and I have a bat house, but I've never put it up. Very interesting. They have all these.
Mosquitoes.
What's that?
Good for mosquitoes.
All right, I'm going to take a little break, and we got 2 more books, and of course we got to read The Little Old Lady Who Was Not Afraid of Anything. I just want to stretch my legs out so I don't get back spasms. Oh, look at this cute little cuddle puddle. I don't think you can see it. No, you can't. But there's 2 little teeny little babies in this huge bed. Hi, Coralie. Hello, Coralie. Nobody doesn't like Coralie. What are you looking at, girlie? What are you looking at? Tommy. Hi, Kiara. How you doing? How you doing, Kiara? Ian. When I saw you last week, Ian, I knew that you were going to be okay. Because you were just running around like a crazy one. You might not have a tail, but that's okay. Tails are kind of overrated. Hi. Oh. All right. Alright, so next is the little old lady who was not afraid of anything. Once upon a time, there was a little old lady who was not afraid of anything. Let me get closer so I could show you the pictures. One windy afternoon, the little old lady left her cottage and went for a walk in the forest to collect herbs and spices, nuts and seeds. She walked so long and so far that it started to get dark. There was only a sliver of moon shining through the night. The little old lady started to walk home. Suddenly, she stopped. Right in the middle of the path were two big shoes. And the shoes went clomp, clomp. "Get out of my way, you two big shoes. I'm not afraid of you," said the little old lady. On she walked down the path, but behind her she could still hear the two shoes go clomp, clomp. A little further on, the little lady stumbled into a pair of pants. And the pants went wiggle, wiggle. "Get out of my way, you pair of pants. I'm not afraid of you," said the little old lady as she walked on. But behind her, she could still hear wiggle, wiggle. She could hear the two shoes go clomp, clomp, and the one pair of pants going wiggle, wiggle. Farther still, the little old lady bumped into a shirt, and the shirt went shake, 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 shake. "Get out of my way, you silly shirt. I'm not afraid of you," said the little lady. And on she walked a little bit faster, but behind her she could hear two shoes going clomp, clomp, one pair of pants going wiggle, wiggle, and one shirt goes shake, shake. A little ways on, a little old lady came upon two white gloves and a tall black hat. And the gloves went clap, clap, and the hat went nod, nod. Yeah. "Get out of my way, you two white gloves and you tall black hat. I'm not afraid of you," she said. And on she walked just a little bit faster. But behind her, she could still hear two shoes going clump, clump. One pair of pants go wiggle, wiggle. One shirt going shake, shake. Two gloves go clap, clap. And one hat going nod, nod. By now, the little old lady was walking at quite the fast pace. She was very near her cottage when she was startled by a very huge, very orange, and very scary pumpkin head. And the head went boo, boo. This time, the little old lady did not stop to talk. She did not stop at all. She ran. But behind her, she could hear two shoes go clomp, clomp. One pair of pants going wiggle, wiggle. One shirt goes shake, shake. Two gloves go clap, clap. One hat go nod, nod. And one scary pumpkin head going boo, boo. The little old lady did not look back. She ran as fast as she could and didn't stop to catch her breath until she was safe inside her cottage with the door locked. She sat in her chair by the fire and she rocked and she rocked. It was so quiet in her cottage before the knock, knock at her door. Should she answer it? Well, she wasn't afraid of anything, so she went to the door and opened it. What do you think she saw? Two shoes go clomp, clomp. One pair of pants go wiggle, wiggle. One shirt goes shake, shake. Two gloves going clap, clap. One hat going nod, nod. And one scary pumpkin going boo, boo. I'm not afraid of you, said the little old lady bravely. What do you want anyway? We've come to scare you. You can't scare me, said the little old lady. Then what's to become of us? The pumpkinhead suddenly looked unhappy. I have an idea, said the little old lady. She whispered into the pumpkin's ear. The pumpkin head nodded, and its face seemed to brighten. The little old lady said good night, closed the door, and whistled on her way to bed. Here she is whispering to the pumpkin. The next morning, she woke up early. She went to her window and looked out into her garden. And what do you think she saw? Two shoes go clomp, clomp. One pair of pants go wiggle, wiggle. One shirt goes shake, shake. Two gloves go clap, clap. One hat go nod, nod. One scary pumpkin going boo, boo. And scare all the crows away. So that is the little old lady who wasn't afraid of anything. I got one final book. And this is called Toasting Marshmallows. These are camping poems. I thought that this might be a nice little book for this time too, because, you know, I remember when we were kids, we'd go up with the Cub Scouts and we would, you know, go into those cabins in the fall, have that chill in the air. Hi, Norma. So and these are all like little poems. Yes, it was a cute story. So these are all little poems based on camping. So this first one is called Tent. First, smooth dirt. No rocks or roots. Next, sharp stakes, poles, sharp or strong nylon rope. Shake, snap, billow, woof, settle. Tug, pull taut. Our tent is up, blooming, bright orange. Oh, you're welcome, Kyle. A doe. Stepping timidly out of the thicket, she trembles, then stills, poised mid-quiver. We don't move. We don't even whisper. She's almost close enough to touch. Velvet ears swivel, slim, splendid legs turn. A silent shiver fading into the dusk. I'm probably running out in front of my car. Thank you, Stacy. I thought these were really good. And I think what I'm going to do now is maybe once a month, I'm going to have a theme with all the books, because I have so many books now. You know, obviously, you know, we'll have one day around Christmas time. There'll be strictly Christmas books. I don't think I got any I don't think I have any Thanksgiving books, so I don't think that's going to be a good thing. So, next two poems. Next one is called Scooter. At home, our dog snores. Loose-boned Easy sprawled beneath fireplace and couch, losing himself in tennis ball dreams. Here, by the campfire, he's tightly coiled, a thin, tense spring, snarling into the night, hackles lifting his leather collar. Tonight, Scooter is Timberwolf. And then the next poem is called Campfire. Somebody's up there. Who's up there? Warm front, cold back, I turn around. Warm back, cold front, I turn around. I lean against Mom, my head on her shoulder. Warm all over. Sleeping bag. It's so cold outside, I'm getting dressed inside in my sleeping bag. I wriggle, scooch, scrunch, and jiggle. Flop, front flips, back flips. I'm a caterpillar in a cozy cloth cocoon that zips. Breakfast. This chipmunk does not dine, does not idle, does not linger, has no time for chits and chats, nibbling bits of this and that. Then suddenly, a chipmunk dash past my feet, a flurry flash sneaks apiece, races back, chewing fast, a pancake feast in chubby cheeks. Thank you, Susie. All right, next poem is called The Best Paths. The best paths are whispers in the grass, a bent twig, a token, a hint, easily missed. The best paths hide themselves until the right someone comes along. The best paths lead you to where you didn't know you wanted to go. Abandoned cabin. Standing where the door once was, I look inside. Surprised to have a guest, something scary hides. In hasty scrambles to a hidden space, between the chunks of a crumbling fireplace. The ceiling is sky blue, powdered with cloud. Someone's entertaining an elegant crowd of Queen Anne's lace. Bars of sun run across, the dirt floor carpeted in damp green moss. Leaning in towards a window, a pine bough. There's more sky than cabin. The forest lives here now. I like how these little poems kind of paint a picture so that you can close your eyes and think that you're in the woods by myself. I might sit here all day listening to aspen leaves ruffle, watching the quiet things, waiting to see what happens. I might sit here all day until I see 17 jays, until the beetle reaches the pine, until the panther cloud crosses the sky. I might sit here all day by myself, alone, quiet and still, silent as stone. Six, seven. Well, we don't have that much to go. We got about 10 pages. Storm. Late in the afternoon, the wind begins to blow. Whistle sharp, wet and cold. Whitecaps lace the lake. Uneasy, the birds dart from tree to tree as heavy black clouds rumble toward us. An ongoing train hauling a thunderous load of storm. Rain. Rain dance. It was dry under these leaves until a confetti of birds in the wet leaves danced another rain shower. And then there's a mosquito song. It's me, mosquito. Is that you, dinner? Greetings! Well, that's not the fun part of being out camping, is the mosquitoes. Toasting marshmallows. I am a careful marshmallow toaster, a patient marshmallow roaster, turning my stick oh so slowly, taking my time, checking often. This is art, a time of serious reflection. As my pillowed confection slowly reaches golden perfection, my brother grabs them with his grubby hands, shoves them on the stick, burns them to a crisp, cools them off, flicks soot, eats quick. I'm still turning my stick. He has already eaten 6. I just remember when I used to toast the marshmallows, you always try to start and be very patient, and you turn them slowly, and then you kind of like, I want to eat that marshmallow now. And half the time it turns out that it goes on fire anyway, but you still eat it, even though it's burnt to a crisp. 2 voices in a tent at night. Shh, something is scratching in our tent. It's not. It's 2. It's not. Scratching. I don't hear anything. Something is scratching. Go to sleep. It's you. Stop it. No, it's not. It's a branch. It is you, isn't it? Okay. It was me. Wait. Something's scratching. Listen. Told you so. Scratching. Shh. Are you doing that? No. Think it's the dog? I hope so. Eavesdropping. Tipping a slender silver ear. Moon tries to pretend she isn't listening to our secrets. Max's Bait Shop. Faded snapshots of folks with the fish they caught at this lake. Talk is short here. Any luck? What's biting? The lucky ones lie, saying, well, not much. Fishing lures powdered with dust, red and white floats, hand-tied flies. Next to candy bars, stale potato chips, a jar of beef jerky, icebox with cheese sandwiches, sodas and stuff. Next to the worms in cardboard cups. Thank you, Ms. M. I'm really happy you're enjoying it. Gone fishing. No one else was awake when we got up at dawn to go fishing. Walking the steep path down to the lake, we could see the circle flop and splash of trout. I warned my little brother not to get too close to the edge. He said, you can't tell me what to do. No one else was awake when we got up at dawn to go fishing. All I caught was one little brother, hauled up out of the cattails, sputtering, soggy, and still stubborn. Next is rowing to the island. Mom and I row, leaving the shore in our wake. Such hard work putting an island across a lake. So I'm going to read you one more. You know what? There's a couple more I can read. No, I'm going to read you one more. 2 more. Let's do 2 more. All right. Next one is river messages. River words run in scallops and scribbles, scrolls of eddies and watery ripples. I throw a pebble, skip a telegram, across the river which never stops. River writes, river talks. Someone upstream is throwing rocks. And we are going to end today. Well, we're going to do 2 more. We're going to do flashlight and we're going to do owl. And we're going to end with owl. Flashlight. Dark night, rocky path. Flashlight beam shows me the way, a round stepping stone. Green bug on my book, pushing his long, important shadow up the page. Inside the flashlight, round beam, one wide open eye staring back at me. The bobbing circle of light coming up my path, bringing my father. So that's flashlight. And now we're going to read the final one for tonight. It is called Al. I hear you, Al, your one lone vow drops like a stone in a night's dark pond. An almost echo funnels around, a hollow sound. I hear you, Al, the wind rushed of your wings, shouldered and spread, pleading the night, the satin flap of your feathered cape. Al, I hear you. I'm awake too. So that is it for our Halloween story time. So it was very scary and spooky, as you can tell. I can't believe we got through just about all of the books. Yes, and that's why I bought this along, London Girl, because it reminded me. And I always think of camping. I always think of fall, when you're camping. So that's why I wanted to bring that. So thank you, everybody. And thank you, Norma. Thank you, Bella. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Stacy. So I probably will not be here next week. I had to let Jackie know that I won't be here next week because I will be in Florida, or I'm probably going to be coming back from Florida because I got work on Thursday. So it's going to be a very, very busy week for me. So thank you, everybody. Everybody have a great night. And I'll say good night to you guys. Pontia, Coralie, Butch, another Butch,